I know this might sound crazy, but I actually got leaner and more toned without dieting, without calorie counting, and without obsessive exercise. For most of my life, I believed the lie we've all been fed, which is eat less, work out more, and you'll finally have the body that you want.
It's not what you think.
But the harder I tried, the worse my body felt, and the worse my mental health and my life got. And you probably know that story. What finally changed everything wasn't another diet or fitness plan. It was finally focusing on the missing piece, my nervous system. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I stopped doing and what I started doing, and why my body finally changed when I stopped fighting it. And I'm sure that sounds pretty exciting to you. And I want to say, if you're tired of dieting and over-exercising and obsessing over food and hating the way you look, and you want a roadmap that will bring you lifelong peace with your body and food without having to diet, I have a few spots open for a body confidence and food freedom call. On that call, we're going to talk through exactly why you've been getting stuck, exactly what your roadmap is to have the results that you finally deserve. And the best part is we're going to do it all without toxic diet culture. So this is for women who are serious about a root cause focused approach, who refuse to be imprisoned by these issues anymore, and are ready to live life to the fullest. So that link is in the description below, and keep watching because I'm going to share the exact process that transformed my body and my life. Here's what I stopped doing. I stopped dieting. For years, I thought dieting was the answer. I restricted calories. I cut carbs. I restricted everything. And yet, somehow, I magically gained weight. I felt inflamed. I was binge eating. And here's why. Chronic dieting sends your nervous system into survival mode. Your body thinks it's under threat, so it holds on to weight, it slows down your metabolism, ramps up your cravings, and the very thing I thought was going to make me smaller and leaner was actually keeping me stuck and completely miserable. So I said, no more. 2, I stopped over-exercising. I used to believe that more cardio was better, more HIIT training was better, more hours in the gym was better. But instead of leaning out, my body actually became exhausted, puffy, inflamed. And over-exercising is another stressor on your body. It spikes cortisol, it deregulates your hormones, and it keeps your nervous system in a constant state of stress. So my body was not recovering. It was literally breaking down and getting physical injuries. So quitting these 2 patterns was quite literally terrifying at first, but it was the best decision I ever made. And I'll give you an example. My client Erica, who I worked with, went from binge eating her whole life, restricting every single piece of food in her life, always on diets, constantly obsessing over every calorie, obsessive exercise. She was unable to break free of this despite years of therapy. We worked together, and within 6 months, not only did she naturally lose 15 pounds without dieting or restriction, but she stopped dieting, she stopped binge eating, she stopped participating in toxic diet culture and obsessive exercise. Instead, she found peace within herself and her body, compassion within herself. She started having a healthy relationship with food and her body, and the weight came off because her body finally felt safe. So this is the point. You do not need to participate in toxic diet culture anymore to have the relationship with your body that you deserve. You need your body to actually understand how to feel safe. So if that appeals to you and you're someone who struggled with lifelong body image and food issues, and you would just like to have peace with your body and food, and also like to support yourself to have a healthy relationship with your body and achieve health goals, not from a unhealthy punishment-based place, then you can book your one-on-one body confidence and food freedom call in the link in the description. So here's what I started doing, which you can too. I started focusing on regulating my nervous system, and this was the game changer. This was the missing piece. I learned how to bring my body out of survival mode using very specific evidence-based tools and making that a daily focus. When my nervous system felt safe, my body no longer needed to hold on to weight as protection. And your nervous system is the control center for everything in your life. Your hormones, your metabolism, whether your body feels safe to lose weight, your insulin, your sex hormones, your sleep quality, whether you have anxiety or not. And so many of us are living in a constant state of stress and survival. So it's no wonder that we're doing all the right things and our body is not feeling safe to let go of weight and keeping us completely miserable. So I learned how to regulate my nervous system and to build capacity within my nervous system. Very, very important. Number 2, I learned how to reprogram my beliefs about food and my body. one of the most dysregulating things in our lives is our belief system. Our belief system, which is all of which has been conditioned to us, makes up for 85% of our behaviors in life. So I'll give you an example. For years, I believed that carbs were dangerous, that eating after 7 p.m. would make me gain weight, that my worth depended on my body size, that if I didn't exercise 7 days out of a week, I was going to gain weight and then nobody would love me. I believed for years that I was not worthy in the body that I had and no one would love me. Can you see how inflammatory and stressful it is to live in a world where your operating system is negative, is filled with stress? Every single time you think one of those beliefs, you are sending your nervous system an emotional attack. And all day long, we are swimming in emotional attacks and wondering why we are not getting the results that we want. You wouldn't believe the miracles that happen when you learn how to have a loving, accepting relationship with yourself and your body and food, and when you learn how to release all of this fear and shame and unworthiness that we carry about our body image and food. Once I did that work, it became easy to get the results that I wanted in the gym. It became easy to stop binge eating and having unhealthy behaviors with food. It became easy to eat in a way that felt healthy and normal and to not have to obsess over calculating food. It became easy to have complete neutrality with food where I was no longer imprisoned by food noise. So that is incredibly important, because if we do not reprogram the belief systems that are keeping us stuck, we will continue to get stuck in the same cycle, and we will logically know what we want to believe to be true, but we will keep behaving in a way that supports this conditioned belief system, this old operating system, which is toxic and inflammatory. Are we following so far? So you might be saying, what does regulating one's nervous system and belief reprogramming actually look like? I'm so glad you asked, because I'm going to give you a quick example of one of the many specific evidence-based tools that we use inside the Brazen program. And you're going to use it with me. It's only going to take a few minutes, and you're going to feel the incredible shifts that are going to happen in your body from getting out of this survival state and into a state of safety. That's how we create regulation within the nervous system. So all I want you to do is I want you to tap where I tap on my body and repeat these words aloud, and we're going to check in afterwards and see how good you feel. Okay, repeating after me, tapping where I tap. Even though I have been conditioned to believe through diet culture, societal conditioning, that I have to control food, I have to obsess over exercise, to have the body that I want, I acknowledge that this is keeping me stuck in a toxic stress cycle. Even though, through no fault of my own, I've been conditioned to believe that controlling food and exercise is how I'm supposed to feel worthy in the world. I'm willing to recognize that this isn't working. All these conditioned, inflammatory beliefs that are controlling me. Constantly calculating food. Worrying about what I'm eating and not eating. All of these rules about food. Feeling guilt if I don't work out. all this shame I have about my body. Never feeling enough, no matter how much I weigh. Having anxiety going out for dinner. Feeling unable to be present because of all this food and body noise. This has been extremely stressful. This isn't my fault. I've been conditioned from years of diet culture and societal messaging and it's a trap that's kept me stuck. It's kept me full of shame. It's made me exhausted. It's kept my nervous system in a state of survival. It's created inflammation in my body. This conditioning is literally causing me to hold on to weight. This conditioning is single-handedly responsible for so much suffering in my life. And today, maybe for the first time in my life, I'm willing to recognize that this isn't my fault. That all this toxic messaging is conditioning. And I'm open to upgrading my operating system. I'm open to finding a new way that's healthy, that doesn't cause suffering, that delivers results. Because I deserve that. Beautiful. Take a nice easy breath. Notice how you're feeling. Share in the comments what the shifts are that you're noticing. And this is just one example of the tools that we use inside my program. So we use an entire toolbox of evidence-based practices to calm your system in the moment, to rewire it long-term. So you actually get to have an empowered relationship with food and your body, because we're changing the operating system that's controlling you, and we're actually creating safety in your nervous system, and that creates miracles. So the third thing I started focusing on, which was simple, was choosing exercise for longevity. So instead of punishing myself with workouts, HIIT training, all different types of workouts, I started intentionally doing strength training several times a week, starting out slow, maybe 1-2 times a week, and working up to 3 times a week. That's it. And walking. I started doing this intentionally with the focus on progressive overload. What that means is that you're actually striving to increase the amount of reps you're doing every week, or increasing the amount that you are lifting. Why that's important is because strength training speeds up your metabolism, it builds lean muscle mass, it supports long-term health, It's really healthy for our hormones as women. It's the opposite of burnout cardio culture or intense exercise. And the craziest part is once my body started feeling safe and strong, the results that I had been chasing for years, basically my entire life, started happening very easily. So it's not stressful. Like I said, I work out maybe 3, max 4 times a week. And most of the time it is strength training at my local gym, which is cheap. And if I don't feel like it, I don't care. I don't focus on it. I'll just go for a walk. I'll walk my dog or I go to a yoga class. Never in my life has exercise been so simple, and my workouts are max 50 minutes, okay? That is a world of difference from the 7 days a week that I was exercising for like 2 hours a day. So this is entirely possible for you as well. So the truth is, I didn't get more toned or more lean by dieting harder or participating in toxic diet culture. I got stronger, more toned, more lean by stopping the things that was keeping me stuck. Dieting and over-exercising, constantly beating myself up and my body image up. I reprogrammed my nervous system and those beliefs that I had about food in my body that were inflammatory. I started choosing exercise that focuses on longevity, strength, and freedom. And I made it easy because I enjoy it. And if I can do this after a lifetime of suffering with my body image and food, you can too. And the women that I work with inside my program are breaking decades of diet culture conditioning, finally making peace with their body and food, and stepping into a freedom that they never thought possible. So if you're exhausted from counting calories, restricting, binge eating, blaming yourself, you hate exercise, if you're ready to stop fighting your body and start healing through the root cause, this is your moment. As I said, you can click the link in the description to apply for a body confidence and food freedom call together. On that call, we're going to look at where you are now, where you're getting stuck, where you dream of being, and we'll map out exactly how nervous system healing is going to get you there. So you do not have to spend another year stuck in this exhausting cycle. You deserve peace, freedom, and confidence. And that's going to last a lifetime. And it starts with you taking the next step to change your life. So that link is available in the description. Remember, you are not broken. You're not something that needs to be fixed. You just simply have not had the right tools or a root cause approach to actually have a healthy relationship with your body. On average, women spend 17 years of their lives dieting and never see long-term results. So it's time to stop the insanity and start doing something sustainable from the inside out. That is the gift that has the highest ROI, return on investment, that you will ever find. I'm sending you a big hug. Love you lots. I'm super proud of you for being here, and I'll see you again in the next video.